views and opinions expressed in this interview are those of our guest and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of Alias Forensics, Inc. Hello, everyone. This is Donovan Farrow again at Secure AF Podcast. Today we have a very special guest. Everyone knows Oklahoma, Joe Exotic. Sir, thank you for coming on. I know you got a little bit of time, but how we doing? How's prison, honestly?
First of all, thanks for giving me a platform and a voice, man. I appreciate it. Prison, it's nothing like you see on TV or you expect. This is probably the most ass-backwards, corrupt organization that the government has.
Yeah, I definitely understand that. And on our side, we actually do a lot of criminal defense. That's another reason why we wanted to have you on the podcast. So definitely down for that. I have so many questions from the staff, but I'm going to jump in. Do you remember during your case there was a guy named Mark S. Songer? He was a forensic analysis for documents. Did that name ring a bell? Well, apparently he was in your case. I didn't know if there was some verification of some type of documents. It didn't go into too much detail, but I was kind of interested if you've had any information on that.
Now, during my trial, there was never anybody testified about documents. Are you talking about some of the evidence that John Phillips has since then come up with?
Yeah,
my lawyer?
Yeah, that's correct. Yes.
Okay, now, because I know he had an FBI report.
Yep.
Some dude did a big report on the two FBI agents
Yeah.
of how they lied and how they broke protocol and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the documents that the government and my public defenders had
Yeah.
were written protocols from the U.S. signed off by the USDA
Yeah.
inspectors and by my veterinarian,
Yeah.
allowed me to do what I did with those 5 tigers.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
see, they kept all that hid during trial.
Yeah, and you kind of talked about that with some of our clients. There's a big struggle. Obviously, watched some interviews of you as well as you were unable to, I guess, obtain counsel. So you had to do basically, I would say, if you can't afford an attorney, one will be awarded to you. How was that experience?
Okay, well, to this day, I consider myself, I've been kidnapped by my own country, okay,
Yeah.
and a political prisoner.
Yeah.
And the reason for it is because they arrested me, they kept me in solitary confinement for 2 years.
Yeah.
Okay, I couldn't call. Nobody. I couldn't help find evidence.
Yeah.
I couldn't hire lawyers, so I had to use public defenders. And
Sure.
they only came and seen me 4 times. And every time they came,
Yeah.
I had a list of probably 30 witnesses that I wanted.
Uh-huh.
And the only person they called for me as defense witness?
Carol Baskin. Just kidding. No.
PETA.
Oh, that's, yeah. I'm sure they definitely didn't have anything in your favor, so that's pretty wild. Huh. Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's how they got me. Okay,
Yeah.
so then the public defenders, the prosecutors, and the judge all had a meeting. Okay, and they all agreed that during my trial I couldn't talk about.
This call is from a federal prison.
Couldn't talk about Carol Baskin's missing husband and how that
Yeah.
that all started in our fight.
Yeah.
That was what it was really all about. Okay, I couldn't discuss about Jeff Flo and
Yep.
James Garrison's raping people at the zoo and sex trafficking and all their credit card and identity theft and everything else. They wouldn't let me discuss anything to explain why Joe left the zoo. Okay?
Yeah.
They just made it to be like I left the zoo and went to Florida to run from the cops.
Yeah, well, yeah, and that's pretty wild. I've heard a few of those cases coming up, as you probably know. I mean, even there's a decent amount of lawfare depending on who's getting paid sometimes. Even the whole Trump thing, not to get super political, but obviously getting dragged into court. There's a few other people that, your term, basically been kidnapped, right, by your government due to lawfare. Do you have any, I guess, why would the federal government come after you specifically? I know the charges, they said, you did a hitman hire, but why? I feel like you had to actually make someone really upset. Do you have an idea who that might be?
Okay, for 11 years, I fought the Big Cat Safety Act, okay? And I testified in front of the Senate in Ohio. I testified in front of the House of Representatives.
Okay.
So what they had to do was Carol Baskin, Howard Baskin, and okay, let me back up just a second.
You're good.
All right. Dan Ash, the director of the Federal Fish and Wildlife,
Okay.
right? While he was the director, was also the president of the AZA, the Association of Zoos and Aquariums.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Him and Carol got together in 2016, and in order to put generic tigers, which are mud tigers, on the endangered species list, they put it up for comment. Well, Carol advertised that she would pay anybody $5 to go make a comment. Okay, so they put generic tigers on the endangered species list. Okay.
Okay.
So that was their first step of securing the Big Cat Safety Act.
Gotcha.
Right? Well, still, Joe fought it for 2 more years. Okay.
Yeah.
The Big Cat Safety Act kept it from passing. Okay, so what they had to do was they concocted this one murder for hire charge. That's what they arrested me on, was one murder for hire charge.
Yeah.
And the minute I wouldn't plead guilty to that, they superseded me with 21 more charges.
Okay.
And those 21 more charges was Endangered Species Act, Lacey Act, all about the receipts and putting those 5 tigers down. So they claimed that I should have had a permit to put those tigers down when I had a federal license and a protocol that said to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, so now they got me in jail, all right? And then here comes Eric Good with Royal Productions to make Tiger King.
Yeah.
Okay, so they drowned out. They had this agenda to make Tiger King, okay, to make us all look crazy because we own exotic animals.
Right.
Okay. Now, if they didn't have an agenda and it was about saving tigers or Joe abusing animals or anything,
Yeah.
okay, they would have had Saf, the girl that lost her arm. Okay, they would have had her sitting in front of a tiger cage on Tiger King and explaining that it wasn't the tiger's fault. Here's how we need to save tigers in the wild. This is, tigers in captivity, blah, blah, blah. But instead, they put her in a junkyard. They interview her sitting in a junkyard
Right.
to make the zoo look that bad.
Yeah.
Okay, then who the hell interviews a hitman in a bathtub?
Yeah, I have some good questions about that.
I mean, really. Okay?
Yeah.
So now they nickname the Big Cat Safety Act the Tiger King Bill.
Ah.
Okay? And they get the whole world to watch Tiger King, and they get all the Democrats and Republicans to.
This call is from a federal prison.
People are off the wall. They're meth heads, and they're Doc Antel's got 5 wives,
Yeah.
and Joe's got 2 husbands.
Yeah.
They made it look shitty. Okay, so they got it passed. Biden signed it into law. Now the only 2 organizations in America that can own tigers is Dan Ash's AZA and Carol Baskin's Global Federation of Animal Sanctuaries.
Gotcha. Well,
Okay, so they go and they destroy my zoo. They completely destroy it. If you've seen any of the pictures, it's a ghost town now.
yeah.
Okay, so again, if it would have been about helping tigers or saving tigers or even me breeding tigers,
Yeah.
they would have stopped breeding animals at my zoo and
Yeah.
kept it open and made the world's most famous sanctuary.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. It was about destroying Joe. So they destroy my house. They let horses live in my house. They tear the zoo apart.
Yep.
But what do they do with my animals? They ship them all to Global Federation Animal sanctuaries all over the United States, and now they're all charging $50 a piece to a person to save my animals.
Yeah. That's
Nothing changed for the animals. Nothing.
gotcha. Hey, and on that note, I was actually going to play you a little clip. I'd like to get your, let's see, Alan Glover. Let's see here.
Alan Glover.
Yeah, so he's the guy. I'm going to play a clip. This is from another interview you had, but at the end here, he says that he's basically going to come for you. I'm kind of interested what that means to you. It sounds kind of wild to me. I'm going to play it.
Players on camera.
Here we go.
But you know what? I've never seen season 2 on Tiger King. But apparently, he went on world television and admitted to perjury and a plot to kill me to start with.
He knew I was going to have Joe's head cut the fuck off. I was going to fucking hook him up with a pea and a fucking wire.
So that's a pretty aggressive statement. Yeah.
and nobody's been charged with nothing.
Yeah, that's pretty wild to me. I was showing that to a few other employees here. That seems pretty outlandish, and obviously should be investigated. That seemed pretty cut and clear what his intentions were to be.
Wow.
So,
But why is it not being investigated?
I don't know. I mean, I know once the Fed gets involved with some stuff, it can go pretty nasty, in my opinion. Even from the court cases I've worked, it's sometimes it just not quote important, and I assume there could be some type of agenda. So I mean, that in itself should have some type of raise some eyebrows for sure. On that note, I'm kind of I was going to end up on the higher note.
They even took him to the zoo and showed him where he hid the murder weapon. I'm like, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I told everybody when I left the zoo in June of 2018. I said, they're going to kill me.
Yeah.
I said, they're trying to kill me. They
Yeah.
put perfume on my shoes to get me killed in a tiger cage.
I remember that.
Where that liger drugged me across the cage.
Yep. That was
Okay.
pretty wild.
Look, the camera guy and everybody standing outside the cage. Did anybody holler for help?
Nope. Not according to what I saw. Yeah.
Their whole intention was to get me killed.
That's crazy.
And I'm like, I told everybody, I told Rinky all the time, Rinky, they're going to kill me.
Yeah.
They're going to kill me to get the zoo.
Yeah.
And that's why I left.
Yeah. Well, at least you made it out, but except at this case, you got put up on something else. I was going to ask you, being, if you're unaware, we're actually an Oklahoma company, been here for 15 years. You were running for the Libertarian candidate. I'm aware that some of my employees wanted me to let you know they did vote for you, so I thought that was pretty hilarious in a small world. So tell me about, how was that?
You know, I ran a hell of a campaign again, you know.
Yeah.
It's corrupt because once you take a stand and you know too much, they censored me, okay?
Yeah.
The Libertarian censored me. That's how come I lost the Libertarian the primaries.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but in Garvin County, I got 70% of the vote.
That's great.
You know, so somebody took me serious.
Yeah.
It's no different than the politics today. It depends on who you are. You know, if they don't like you, hell, look what they did to Trump. 94 fucking indictments.
Yep.
You know, but he still won. The
Yeah.
American people spoke up.
Yeah, and I think that was that was, people call it, you know, Trump is the middle finger to the, you know, the oligarchs, if you will. So people say. And then my last, since you got to go soon, I'm going to do a cool, like, quick fire questions from my staff, if you don't mind.
No, go ahead.
All right, first thing, which they all said, what's your favorite firearm?
Smith & Wesson Model 66 357.
Okay, next one, favorite president?
Favorite president? Gotta be Trump.
Fair enough. Dead or alive, you could eat with anyone ever.
Dead or alive what?
If you want to eat dinner with somebody, whether they're dead or alive, you got to pick one person.
Man. That would be hard. Probably John Wayne.
Very good. And then this one's kind of funny. He said, what's your opinion on Sasquatch legends? These are all for people from Oklahoma, by the way.
Sasquatch legend?
Yeah, like Bigfoot. Do you have any Bigfoot stories?
Oh, no, he's real. I believe he's real. And I believe we came from monkeys. I really do.
That's
hey,
yes, sir.
You're going to hang up on us any second. But,
Okay, hey,
if you have any power in Oklahoma,
Yeah.
ask Governor Stitt how come the OSBI is not investigating this going to kill Joe thing.
Yes, sir. And then last thing, how can we help you going forward with the pardon or raising money for your legal fund?
Just get on Joe Exotic.
Oh, shoot. All right, everyone. That was the legend, Joe Exotic. I appreciate his time. He only had 15 minutes. So hopefully that was entertaining and kind of a nice little Christmas gift for you guys. At the end of this, we're going to put a link in the bottom on how you can help Joe either force a pardon or help with a pardon, or also donate to his financials system. Just thought it'd be a fun interview. I hope you guys enjoy it, and go have a Merry Christmas.